Oh, there we are. Hi, hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Salty Sweet Games. Welcome to Strange Invasion Assault on the Barrier Peaks. I am the aforementioned Salty.
And I'm Sweet.
And these various assorted spices are our friends. Before we hop in today and talk to everybody and find out who they're playing, how they're feeling, we have a few brief channel things to get through. First of all, a ton of thanks to our sponsors, Roll20, a virtual tabletop of choice, which unites gamers across any distance with easy-to-use tools that run straight from your web browser for free. Haha! We are part of their Spotlight program, which highlights indie TTRPG creators all across the interwebs, and we love them very much. Also, for those of you who like the more physical dice, yes, the ones that we call the chunky boys, we are an affiliate with Dice Envy. You can go to their website and use our code SaltySweet, all caps, one word, to get 10% off of your shiny math rocks. Yes. Delicious, yes. And last but not least, Grinding Coffee Co., Black and LGBTQA plus owned coffee company. They make all organic brews. They donate portions of their proceeds to charity. They came out recently with like 10 new flavors. So many things are happening. But you can go to their website, which is in the chat scroll, and use the code SaltySweetGames, all caps, one word, to get 13% off your coffee purchase. They recently opened subscribe. You can subscribe and get coffee. It's great, and you save money doing that too. So woo! What else is there to talk about? Oh yes, sure. We here at Salty Sweet Games use safety tools, lines, veils, X and an O cards, stars and wishes, and content warnings because while the characters may be put through hell, or pandemonium in this case, the players are here to have fun, and they're our priority always. I am now going to tell you who I'm playing, and then Kienna's gonna tell you who they're playing, and then we're gonna pass the ball around. It's gonna be great. I am playing Dulcinea, the summer Eladrin rogue, swashbuckler thing. Things are happening. It's all good. Kienna, who are you playing?
Yeah, I play Ardent, who's a she, they pronouns, such as I do. Ardent is a Asmar paladin, Oath of the Crown, and just kind of hanging out right now. Really wants to find out the truth, wants to figure out what's going on. Mm-hmm. They're a little confused.
Sure.
Everyone seems to be very traumatic around them, and she doesn't quite get it, but she just wants to make sure everything's okay.
Great. Yeah, I know we have a mission somewhere in all the babble that we do. Jim, who are you playing tonight?
Good evening, I'm Jim. I use he, him pronouns. And tonight I am playing Devlin Archon, Dwarven Abjurer, Last of the Hearth Wardens, and Angry Dirt Wizard. And I am very pleased to be here.
Awesome. And we are missing a gnome and therefore a halfling today, but hopefully Gnome will be back with us soon. Yes. Okay, Allie, our Dungeon Master, take it away.
Hey everybody, welcome back. It feels like it has been forever. I'm so excited finally for us to be gathered, and excited to welcome all of you viewers live on Twitch and on YouTube to Strange Invasion Assault on the Barrier Peaks. As mentioned, I will be your guide for this grim expedition to the borderlands of fantasy and weird science. And I'm just happy to be here tonight. So excited for this. So, last time on Strange Invasion, our heroes discovered something. They discovered something awful. They discovered that there was a traitor in their midst. The courtier and spy Cherry Redding, as the dust was settling on their epic encounter with the purple worm, their suspicions settled upon their ersatz ally, Ms. Redding. She seemed to know a great deal more than she should about the dimensional portal through which their adversaries had fled, led by Rico Dorthin, captain of the guard of the great city of Isranthos, former colleague of our paladin, and by someone else who is allegedly a son of the Queen of Air and Darkness herself, and who may be the son of a member of our party as well. When Cherry's attempt to turn our party against one another failed, they met her with a united front, and she met her demise. But with no other way across the soaring giant's gorge, the bridge being broken, destroyed, our heroes mounted their horses and rode straight off the end of the broken bridge and straight through a portal into the plane of Pandemonium. But they were successful in solving the puzzle that showed the safest way through the Shadow Forest there on Pandemonium's edge, and in sight of the exit back to their own plane, they rested in the shelter of a gnarled cedar tree, and there they gathered their strength for the final push to the great watchtower at High Moraine. And this is where we will pick up this evening. You are resting there. There's a wet snow that is falling, not like the dry, high mountain snow that you've been passing through for the last day or so, but heavy and wet. You're well protected by the boughs of this cedar tree. But here, with the forest stretching out to your right and to your left, but directly ahead of you, somehow, a bridge. And at the end of the bridge, you can see that shimmering light that you've come to recognize, and that your plane-walking companion, Idoso, has told you is a portal back to your own prime material plane. What would you like to do?
Be on our way.
Right. So are you going to mount back up and ride out the way that you rode in?
Yes.
You mount your horses. There is a cold wind that is blowing through the snow. You're damp. There's that smell of dead, rotting branches and leaves that make up the floor of any forest, but more pungent here on the borderland of Pandemonium. And you ride ahead. As you pass through the portal, at first, you think that something must have gone wrong. Because the first thing you notice is that it is not early afternoon, like it was when you rode in, but it's dark. You exit, and as your horses exit, you hear their hooves crunch again, that familiar crunch of snow that has been the rhythm of your journey for the last several days. But as you emerge, the vista in front of you does not look like the opposite side of the bridge at Giant's Gorge. The mountains are much taller and the crags sharper. There's less vegetation, more snow and ice. The path in front of you is completely covered in snow. It rises gently toward higher heights to the north, directly in front of you. And you know it's North Devlin because as you look up, you recognize the familiar stars of your world. But you are much farther north than where you expected to come out. And how about a spot hidden roll from everyone just to make things interesting as we're getting started here?
Wrong system.
Ah,
Perception check.
yeah, but we'll try that. How's that?
Okay.
All right. As you're looking around and trying to get your bearings, Ardent, you're the one who notices first that ahead of you is, and not far ahead, maybe a quarter mile from where you are, from where you've emerged, is some pile of stones that does not look natural. There's something about it that catches your eye and appears to be made by sentient hands and not by the forces of nature.
Yeah, I think this is kind of just gonna start heading over. Probably veering off that pathway a bit to look.
Okay. You ride forward, and it's not long before all of you see this this place. It's directly where your path seems to be leading. You also notice that the moon, for example, is the same. It's the same moon that it was the last night that you slept here on Prime. But closer and closer still, and in the moonlight, you begin to notice what is clearly a pile of the rubble of a large building. And Devlin, you recognize something from the grounds around it, the foundation, that leads you to believe that this is or was once the Great Watchtower at High Moraine. You are almost 3 days further north than you were when you entered the portal.
When I last saw the watchtower or heard anything of it, was it? It was not in this condition, was it?
No, it was not. In fact, you were given what Lady Barrelhelm shared with you before you left on your journey. You were led to believe that you would be met there by the watch that normally staffs that tower and keeps an eye on the borderlands and the barrier peaks.
The watchtower. This is. I'm just sort of looking around, trying to figure out what happened. Sort of looking for signs of. I'm actually looking for signs that they might have fought. That they might have fought those automatons that we encountered.
Mm-hmm. Make an investigation check, and all of you are welcome to do the same if you'd like.
Yeah. 11's my number tonight, apparently.
Yeah. Devlin, and it actually, there's even Dulcie, you're able, you see in the stones that meant that there's clearly been fires here. The stones have been burned. Some of them seem to be large stones split in half or split into many pieces. Devlin, you're able to give a pretty quickly a search, a detailed search. You don't find any of the components of these strange mechanical knights that you've seen in the past, that you've fought successfully in the past. You don't see any components or the like of them, but certainly the damage that you see is looks very much like the damage to the bridge where you just were.
Can you remind us what they said took the bridge out?
They didn't know.
They didn't know.
It-
Okay.
Yeah, it appeared that it was some kind of massive fire and explosion. There were whole, big, sturdy piers of the bridge that had been destroyed, and the whole thing collapsed into the gorge.
So, as we're looking around, do we also see bodies and what have you of people stationed here, or?
No, you don't.
Interesting. Maybe they got it. I'm not seeing any bodies. Maybe they got out.
Well, hopefully. What could have fallen this tower? Not sure.
No. Same forces that did whatever they did to the bridge, presumably.
Is there any part of this that still reaches into the sky that would give us a better vantage point?
No more than about 15 feet, maybe 20. A tower that was once almost 100 feet tall.
Well, anything that would have done this would have left some kind of track. It didn't just appear and disappear, right? I mean, if it were those things, they walk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we look for
Yeah.
any signs of things coming in and out. I guess even in general, because if the people escaped, then they probably went somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is. It's the moon is high in the sky, but there are clouds as well, and so it's not the best conditions for an investigation like this. But as you widen the circle just a bit, you do find some of the almost perfectly circular tracks that look like the footpads of those mechanical creatures. You find many of them. It's hard to tell from the just from the mess of them how many there were, but more than you've seen up to this point. Dulcie, you also find what appear to be just a flat, like a toboggan trail that heads further north from the tower up into the mountains.
Yeah, I'll gather everybody then. Well, someone, not saying it was them, but someone decided to go up into the mountains.
Right, and that's the only real lead we have right now. Considering there's no one to meet right here where we were supposed to.
What was the last thing we heard about High Moraine? Was it that it was destroyed, or just that contact had been cut off?
That contact had been cut off with the tower because the bridge the bridge was out. And so since the bridge had been destroyed, there'd been no contact. Typically, at this time of year, about once a month, there would have been a supply convoy that went back and forth.
So the tracks that have been found are just the toboggan trail is the only thing that we. I just want to make sure I got this clearly.
Mm-hmm.
The toboggan trail is the only thing that we see leaving this area.
Yes, yeah. You do see these these mechanical creatures tracks in all kinds of patches of them, sort of all around the ruins of the tower. They appear to have come from the north, and they appear to depart to the south.
About how many? Yeah.
It's really hard for you to tell how many, but a lot. A dozen, maybe more.
And how big do we think the toboggan party can we tell how big the toboggan party might have been? Well, if we can't tell how many robots there were, then we probably can't tell how big the toboggan party was.
That's much harder to tell,
Yeah.
but that there is, because the tracks are really just sort of the flat bottom of a toboggan. Even the horses that were pulling them, their tracks are sort of plowed over by the toboggan itself as it goes.
Yeah. Presumably they had those. Were we originally supposed to pick up like a sled here or something like that? We're supposed to pick up a toboggan and head up with stuff like that. Okay. This could have been the other party. Possibly.
Seems like an astute observation considering we've been behind them the entire time.
Time we've lost, actually. I'm sort of looking up. I'm trying to figure out just from the. Can we figure out from the position of the stars if we've only lost a few hours or if it's been like. Or if it's been like days, that kind of deal.
Yeah. I think that between your calculations and Idoso's, Devlin, you would guess that it's been no more than a couple of days. It is entirely possible that it's just later that same day that you entered.
Okay.
So I guess the question is then whether we press forward or if we try to rest and recoup. I know that we got some rest down in Pandemonium, but depends if we want to keep pushing ourselves.
I mean, can we push forward? Is anybody...
You certainly can. You have the gear that you need to be able to spend nights out in the wild at this altitude and in this kind of weather. There's some convenient shelter among the ruins here, but there's nothing stopping you from traveling further north.
Well, if we have to stop just so that we don't take exhaustion, because it's not fun for anyone, then let's just stop.
Yep, I'm down for that. If we're just trying to avoid exhaustion, just take a long rest.
Yeah.
Time's jumped forward. Are we? Do we still have a little time before the? We would have night. What would be nightfall for us? Or is it?
Yeah, you could certainly get another couple of hours on the trail before you settled in.
Yeah, we could do it. We could do either one, really. I mean, here it's probably going to be a tiny bit safer, but
Right.
we kind of see what we want to do. I'm good either way. I think.
Cool. So we'll take a long rest, probably just in the shadows of the ruin or wherever else close by. Is it good? corner point anyways, so.
You set up your tents among the ruins of the tower, and the wind dies down. It's quiet. It's so very quiet. And you settle into your bedrolls for the evening, setting up your watches as normal. And one by one, you drift off. The night passes quickly. It is, it feels like you just laid down when you are awakened by a strange sound. It's a whining, a low moaning, echoing across from off the peaks and across the mountains. It starts low in pitch and then it rises to a higher piercing sound before falling back down. And it makes that cycle 3 times. To our modern listeners' ears, it sounds like a siren. Somewhere not too far away.
Yes, at last.
And after 3 cycles, up and then back down, it ends, and echoes of it reverberate across the valley as you're coming out of your tents in the morning of the next day.
Yeah, definitely bolting awake at this point, and kind of poking head out and looking around, trying to maybe pinpoint where this is coming from.
Yeah, does it sound like it's coming from up on the mountains or somewhere to the west or east?
Yeah, it sounds like it's coming from the north.
Well, I'm glad we brought that climbing gear.
All right. So, did they, by any chance, leave any other sleds or what have you among the ruins or the things that we might need, or are we good?
Yeah, you'd have to spend some time really searching. It would take moving some rubble and so forth. But if you took a couple of hours here, you might be able to find something. Sure. It doesn't look as though. Oh, go ahead.
Well, we don't have dogs. So what would the point of the sled be?
It was like it was drawn by the one before that was presumably drawn by horses. I think that's what.
Yeah, but didn't we say originally that we were gonna have to bail on the horses here?
Yeah, it probably wasn't gonna be a big deal. I think we can probably just go. We can just move ahead. It's from. Yeah. It sounds like we should be good. Yeah.
Yeah, from what you can see, it doesn't rise immediately up into peaks. There is a more a less steep path forward, and that certainly seems to be the path that the trail marks out.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, we should be good. I'm sorry. Sorry, I don't mean to keep bringing up minutia. It's just
no, it was important. That's why I was like, wait. Didn't we need doggos?
Yeah.
That's me and my only note-takings in my head.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So we can get going.
You pack up your gear and you're off. The road is snow-covered and it's icy in places, but you are still able to drive north. It is, it's not long. It's midday, in fact. When you arrive at at sort of a circular valley, rising up into peaks ahead of you, and as the clouds break and the sun shines brightly on this valley, you see, you notice a few things. First, you notice that there is at first it looks like it's just sort of a cliff. There's just a cliff wall of mountains. It's a lot like what you see behind Jim and his background there, just sort of some steep cliffs. But as your eyes focus, you're able to see something else. There are places, at least, where it seems as though the cliffside has been built into, or maybe more to the point, as though something that was built has been shoved into it, and the cliff has fallen down upon it. You can see pieces that are, you can imagine it's vaguely disc-shaped. And if it were a full circular disc, it would probably be 150 feet across or so. It's quite wide. What you can see of the width of it starts at maybe 20 or 30 feet in elevation above where you are. There's rubble that sort of leads up to it, but then rises above that for at least 50 feet, maybe more, not quite vertically, a bit slanted. It is dirty and gray, but there are parts of it here that seem to be glinting like the steel of armor or a well-sharpened sword. And the tracks of toboggans seem to lead straight to it.
Going to it.
Yeah, it's whatever it is, it's massive.
Going to it.
Just gonna ride straight up to it. Okay. Okay.
I'm just fascinated by this thing. I'm just sort of looking around. How much time do we have as we're approaching it, by the way?
You're a quarter mile from it right now.
Okay. Would we have maybe like 10 minutes?
Probably have as much time as you want. It will probably take you about that to ride through the snow and ice to get there.
If this thing is what Jim suspects it is, then this probably will not be. Probably will tell us nothing. But whilst we're riding up to it, once again, we're going to be doing the sort of looking around and doing the good old detect magic ritual. So we're going to be spending the next decade of minutes on that. Whilst that's going on, so he's involved in that for the next few minutes.
Yeah, as you ride and complete the spell ritual, you are within 100 feet or so of the edge of this thing. You're riding up now that the snow has given way to loose rocks and boulders and dirt and ice that have cracked and fallen down from the cliff above. But as you wrap up the spell, Devlin, you don't notice that there is no, you don't have any sense of anything magical around you beyond what is always around you, or has been at least for the last couple of weeks. And in fact, this building or construct, whatever it is that's directly in front of you, it seems to be just a black void when it comes to magic or the forces of magic.
Oh,
there's nothing even what you would normally see just in the background of your
Yeah.
world is not there.
'Cause I remember how we described it before, that, sort of seeing the flowing of energy, and if this is like a void, like around which the energy flows and doesn't interact with at all, it's just going to be like, when he finishes this ritual, he's going to look at the thing and he's just going to be like, I think this is definitely where those beings may have come from, those machines, because the life force of this world seems to avoid it. There's nothing.
You all right there, Devlin?
Letting too many thoughts get away with me on this. I think that I'm beginning to see why it is that others are interested in this place, what it might represent. If there's anything in there on a greater order of the things that we've found already, it might be turned to someone's use. Especially considering the damage we've already seen that the forces inside can do. This could indeed be worse than that war a century ago. Ultimately.
Do you think this is something we should investigate further then? Or do we try to move? I can't tell if they stop to look at this. Or if this even might be the source of the sound.
And as you, even as you're having this conversation, Ardent, your eyes light upon an overhang in the cliff off to your left, 200 feet or so. And you see there, kind of just up, sort of parked next to one another, two of those large toboggans the size of wagons, no horses, but the toboggans themselves, much like you were led to expect, would be waiting for you at High Moraine.
And does it look like it's because they had to ditch them to move forward? Or was it kind of like a weird, I'ma just leave it here for no apparent reason other than this thing?
Yeah. How about let's investigate again? Some investigation rolls, please.
Definitely not great at this. Oh, wow.
Hey, nice.
Very good. As you ride over toward the toboggans, they just appear to have been hastily left there under the overhang. There's some hoof prints nearby, but they're that sort of lackadaisical hoof print of a horse that's not got anyone on it, that's just been left to roam, which strikes you because in this environment that would be very cruel. Without being fed and watered, that horse would not survive more than a day or two. But that appears to be what's happened. You also notice, Ardent, that with all of the footprints that are in the snow and the rocks and the dirt here, you notice that at one point where you can now tell it is some kind of metallic wall of this building or construct where it's close to the ground, It looks like the footprints sort of go there and end there. And as you look a little bit more closely, you can see that there are the lines of what might be some kind of a door
Secret door.
without any visible way of opening it, at least to you right now.
Yeah, sorry, I draw attention to it. Look, I forgot where they were going, or where they went into at least. Would either of you like to try to finesse this, or is this more of a brute force?
I'll go look at it more closely to see if there's anything that might trigger it open.
Let's see. How about, do you want to roll investigation or a straight intelligence? If you've got a better idea, I'll leave it up to you.
Investigation sounds fine.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
Damn.
After a few moments, you discover, Dulcie, that there is one, the door thing, whatever it is sort of made up of panels. And as you are working around the edges of them, you find one of them that's a bit smaller, is actually hinged. As you push on it at just the right angle, it seems to sort of fold inward. And it's as you, well, I don't want to, are you pushing it?
Sure.
It's just as you're beginning to do that. And honestly, it doesn't feel as though it moved enough to trigger anything. But at that moment, that wailing sound that you heard this morning begins again, only now it is so loud. It is perhaps the loudest sound you've ever heard. It aches in your ears as it starts off low, rises to a screaming pitch, and you begin to feel a bit of a kind of a vibration. You look up, and up on the wall, this steel wall above you, perhaps 30 feet up from where you're standing, you see one of these panels begin to move, and it slowly slides up 2 feet, 5 feet, 10 feet, this siren sound still wailing. And out of it, you see appear, well, it's half a dozen of those mechanical creatures at least, only they don't have legs. They appear to be floating, just flying in midair. They're carrying something. And before you can see what it is, they throw it out. It arcs over your head, kaboom, and lands in the rocks and snow on the other side of you. It's massive, and it's heavy, and it is white like ice. And as the dust and the snow begin to settle around it, you are able to make out what it is. I think, well, I don't know. Have any of you had the opportunity to see an adult white dragon before in your lives?
Oh, that's great. That's good. Good. No.
Jim, I think
Oh,
Devlin
no.
has.
Okay.
I think Devlin has.
Possibly. Yeah.
And in fact, I know that he has because in the last war, before long before you knew any of these others, the war that you helped to bring to an end, there were a very small group of less than 10 of white dragons who fought on the side of this world and who helped to save it. And So I think you would have seen that and known that, but whether the others or not, I'll leave up to you.
Where are they relative to where I am?
Dragon?
Anything that just happened.
So you're standing, you're up against the wall of the thing, working with the door.
Uh-huh.
Directly above you, vertically on the wall, is where the massive door opened, and these robots threw something out that arced over your head. They threw it out of some huge room, apparently above you.
I understand.
And even now, you can hear that sound of the door that rose falling, moving back into its original closed position.
Is the dragon moving?
Yes, it is beginning to shudder. It shakes. It kind of begins to extend its wings and tail and its long neck around.
Great. I'm just pressed up against the door, just staring at Ardent.
Yeah, Ardent, I think, is kind of doing this thing where she's, if Dulcie's up against the door, she's like right there, like really, probably really close.
Yeah. Oh no, I've got the loud paladin next to me.
Yeah, clink clink. Well, actually, I don't have. My armor makes it so that I don't clink around.
Oh, good.
But Ardent probably freezes as well. What's the general demeanor of this dragon? Does it look immediately hostile? Has it noticed us? Or is it just chilling?
It looks like you'd probably look if you were dropped from 50 feet in the air while you were asleep. It landed with a thud, and it's only just beginning to kind of creak and move. As it does, though, its head picks up and it swivels back up to look from where it just came, and then it swivels back down, and it sees you.
Great.
Jim, can I get a history check from Devlin here, please?
Sure. Why not?
Yep, that sounds about right.
That's a fairly low number.
Yeah. You even back then, you and even at the as central to the effort of the war as you were, you didn't have the opportunity to know any of these creatures personally. But they were almost as feared by your side as they were by the demon invaders.
Yeah, I kind of figured though that he probably he didn't intend to be as important to the effort as he became, but these things happen. So it's one of those things where it's sort of like, I don't know if I was going to ask, I didn't know if I actually recognize this particular one per se, but it's if it looks like it would be old enough, then
it does. And had it been anything other than a critical fail, you probably would have. But it is certainly, at least to your knowledge, appears to be the right age, and it sort of shakes its head like a dog does. As if it's trying to shake out the cobwebs from the fall, and it stares at you.
Just slowly going to be to kind of raise my hand, but not in a non-threatening fashion. Wait, do I? I have draconic. This is. And now it's time to negotiate with the dragon. Let's see what happens. And so just going to very obviously terrified, but is going to just kind of like sort of bow his head, in a sort of show of respect. And we'll probably just sort of look and I think you'll just basically do a just sort of say in whatever the draconic version of well met is, just sort of be like, because he saw what happened to the dragon just now. It's just, but he will say well met. He'll use an old title that he thinks that they had, they would have had back then, just gambling on the possibility that this might be, from the same clutch of dragons that we worked with before.
Yes.
Well met, defender of the high world.
Its head moves out towards you for a moment, and then it shakes it again, and it's as big as a horse. It just shakes its massive head, and then it looks again. Are you a master of the forge?
I am. One of the last remaining. And we seek to we've come to see what has happened to this place.
And you were not banished from this world in the final cataclysm?
Actually, give it, and I think at this point you can sort of, almost anyone sort of watching Devlin will see once again the gears try to start up, and they just freaking snap at this point because of everything that's been happening the last few days. And he says, I alone was left. It was my unfortunate duty to complete the ritual.
I know your friends. Many sent to the void along with me. I am Minzish. And that name Minzish has meaning to you. It stirs a memory from that time.
You fought until the last. You engaged the Demon King himself at one point, did you not?
Yes. And you see its chest begin to shake a bit in whatever that is that passes for laughter among dragons. But then you hear a sound. There's a buzz and a pop. And even though before you didn't notice just sort of the natural movements of its body and of its life, you do notice their absence as they all cease. And its eyes, the pupils of its massive eyes, go to pinpoints as it stares at you. And it says, you hear it say, "They've done something to me, Forge Master." And you hear a buzz and a pop, and it shakes its head again, and it says, "Run!" And even as it's saying it is up on its back legs, its body now facing you fully, and its movements strangely mechanical. Can I have a perception check from everyone, please?
Well, fuck.
Dulcie and Devlin. Ardent is, I think you're preparing for the worst. But Dulcie and Devlin, you notice as it moves its body around and it squares up with you, you see something on its neck. You'd missed it earlier because of the color of it. But it's almost as if it's wearing a tight band around its long neck, close to its head. And off to the left side is a box with rounded edges. And as you look at it, you notice a red light start to blink on it. It's not very big. It's maybe a foot square and maybe 4 inches deep. And the light is blinking on it.
Cool. Is the dragon still on the ground?
It is.
Cool. Dulcie looks at Ardent. Gives her, I'm about to do something really stupid. And then bolts off to try and climb up the dragon.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Should you say that out loud?
No, I just smile at you. I literally just smile at you like.
Okay. Yeah, Ardent's fine with this, I'm sure.
All right. Why don't well because it warned you, I'll give you all a round to act.
Oh, that's
at which
nice.
point we'll roll initiative.
Oh, good.
So Dulcie, you are sprinting toward it. It's not that far. It's about 50 feet away. You can probably close the distance up to it.
Uh-huh. Oh, well. Okay. Am I going to use my get out of jail free card to do something really dumb? I mean...
While you're deciding, I think we need some better music than this.
Probably.
This is much too chill, right?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
I think having not understood any of what was just happening, but just seeing the thing that looks like in the realm of other things that we've seen.
And not just fighting it.
Right. I think I can intuit what's going on. Oh well, 30 feet isn't gonna make really a difference to a dragon. If I want to reach the thing, the collar or the band or whatever it is this round, I'll use my face step.
Okay. You can phase step right up onto the back of its neck.
Yeah.
I think, if you want. So you you're sprinting forward, and as you phase step, the next moment you see Dulcie appear in the air over it and just kind of at full sprint speed falls forward onto its neck.
Yeah. And what does this
Jim,
band
did you
look like again?
Yeah, okay. It is, now that you're close to it, and it's right there in front of you, so you can see it, it's some kind of thin band. It appears to be about, I don't know, maybe 3 inches thick now that you're up close to it. It's fairly tight around the thing's neck and wraps all the way around to some kind of box that's just off on the left side now from where you are.
Okay. To be fair, the dragon also takes 2 points of fire damage when I land. Just to be fair. First blood.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know.
As I hold on to something just in case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're actually able to get your fingers up under the edge of this band and hold on to it by that, and it's secure.
Good. That's it for me.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had one thing I did want to do.
Yep.
And it's very simple. Just sort of seeing what's happening there, but seeing also that we need to, we got this white dragon in front of us. I think I'm going to touch Ardent on the shoulder, if they'll permit it, and you hear me mutter, "Shrine Fred Sonic," and I am casting protection from energy, which presumably white dragon cold. Assume that's what I've seen them breathe before. So I'm going to you now have resistance to cold damage.
Yay.
Nicely done.
And I'm going to
Ardent?
to spread out so that we don't present a single easy target.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ardent?
Yeah, I'm going full angel, as I do in these cases, and also probably useful up in the air, as I sprout wings and take off. I'm gonna position myself as like the most tantalizing target. Still probably not super close to it. Probably keeping 30 feet away. But I also want to keep it kind of fixed in whatever position it's in, so that it's not going to flail its head and toss Dulcie off.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I love this. So we see Ardent's wings emerge, eyes emerge all over her face their face and neck, and they rise up this bright light that you've now seen several times, and it casts the whole valley in a warm glow. Ardent, behind you, you now hear that door that was slowly closing, that massive door. You hear it slam shut with an echoing crash, and the dragon is lifting its head up to your level. And here's where we'll roll initiative.
Oh, okay. I get advantage on initiative because of my height. Yeah. It's a good thing. Not much better though. Oy vey.
Okay.
Ow.
So we have the dragon. We have Devlin. I should be calling him Minzish, his name. We have Minzish. We have Devlin. No. We have Ardent first. Sorry, I'm going to get this right eventually. Ardent. Then the dragon, then Devlin, then Dulcie. All right. Ardent.
Yeah. So I'm going to do, again, my goal is to distract the dragon, but also not to make it move too much. Because I don't want to fuck with whatever Dulcie's doing. So it's probably going to be a kind of a swoop in. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm gonna fucking I have a thing I can do. I can let me read this thing that I can do that I remember that I have, but I need to. Yeah. Okay. Do. Cool. Got it. So basically, I can do spells, and I'd like to compel duel it.
Ooh.
Very, very nice. Very
Um,
nice.
Yeah, it's only a DC 13 because I'm not a spellcaster per se.
Yeah.
But I'm still I'm compelling this duel.
All right. All right. Good. So it is a wisdom save, a DC
Correct.
12 wisdom save.
DC 13.
13. Tell me, what does it look like as you do it, by the way?
So it's probably as she's hovering there, that's 30 feet away from it. She kind of points her sword, and almost like lifts the tip upwards, in a beckoning motion. And with that, there's like that flash of that energy, as she says, "Come on, eyes on me."
All right. At the moment, because of its condition, this dragon has disadvantage on wisdom saves. So let's see what we get.
Oh. Ah.
Eh.
Hey!
Yeah.
I liked that. Meh. Hey!
So basically it's going to get disadvantage on attacking anything else, and it's compelled to try to come at me instead of anyone else.
Yeah. Well, you clearly have its full attention, and even having never seen one of these creatures before, Ardent, you can tell that it's behaving so strangely. Its head is it's locked on you as if it were Dulcie's reality spike, unmoving, mechanical in its movements, and for better or worse, your spell has succeeded.
Woo.
You're about 30 feet away. You are directly in front of it, and there is a wall of steel behind you. Is there anything else you'd like to do before your turn ends?
I think I'm just gonna kind of again seal the deal, and I'm gonna attack it, because I don't fully know what's going on here. No, they're trying to do something. I know something's weird with it, but currently as a threat.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try to hit it.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh wow. Okay.
Mhm.
Love that.
Good.
Second attack.
Oh!
Oh my god.
Oh! Wow. 666. Wee!
Love that.
Love when
myself.
it happens. Love when it happens. Boom, boom, boom.
2
boom.
critical fails.
Yep. Cool.
All right.
Right.
Cool. Cool.
You you move to swing with your great sword. But it because it seemed so mechanical and immovable. It in response to the swing, it moves much faster than you expected it to. Its head rears back, and Dulcie, you're barely able to hold on as it rears back and up around and over you, Ardent, like a snake. It is now positioned above you. Its head is just slightly above you and bearing down on you for this next attack. Anything else?
Nope. That was my action, bonus action, and my movement. So I'm gonna just stay over here and provide bait.
Provide a convenient target for the mind-controlled white dragon. As it stares down at you, there is this terrible moment where you realize exactly what is about to happen. Its mouth opens, and you are met in an instant with blinding, stunning cold.
Oh! Do you have that much HP?
I took I have resistance thanks to
Thank God.
Devlin's shit. But holy fuck.
Devlin barely has
I
that
do
much
have that.
HP.
I do have that amount of HP. But damn.
Oh my God. That's a way to wake you right up, right? Just cold in the face. It's a con save.
Yeah, con save. Fuck. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Wait, no, you have your aura, babe.
Oh, I do.
I don't think it's
you.
gonna make a difference, but you have your aura.
Yeah.
It's fine. Thank you, though.
If Ardent's still within 30 of me, I'm going to try to siphon. I'm going to siphon off. I'm going to siphon off 20 of that into my ward, which that'll take out everything in the ward. But that's because the ward got better. But that'll keep keep her alive longer.
Yeah, they are just on the edge of that ward. And so in the moment, even as the ice, this magical ice is bearing down on you, you can just see for a moment the shimmering ward of Devlin rise up to protect you. So that was 20 that it took away, Devlin.
Yeah, that's I had forgotten that it had improved from 17 to 20 when we last leveled, but now it's down to 0.
So what's the total damage then? Is
12 then.
12. Yes. 12 cold damage.
12? It would be reduced to 44 and then divided by 2.
Oh.
What?
If you're resistant, right?
Okay. I divided it by 2 and then took out, which would be 32.
32.
And then took away the 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it should have been the other way.
No, do that. It keeps us up longer.
Since we said 12. Now we'll stick with 12.
Cool.
All right. But you can feel the ice hanging on your wings, the force of it as it pushes you back toward the steel wall behind you, and it gets a second attack here.
Great.
But it is going to, even under compelled duel, it's going to shake in an attempt to, or I think rather than shake, maybe it's going to bring its tail up around Dulcie and try to get you off of there.
Sure.
And take the disadvantage. Okay.
Both hit.
Oh my god.
All right. And so its tail, Dulcie, you're not expecting it. It kind of comes up around and knocks you. How do you want to try to stay on here?
I don't know. I'll just, I guess take the damage. I guess I don't. If it's not specifically pushing me off, then I don't think I need to make a roll for it.
Well, it is. It's trying to push you off. It's trying to get you off of it. So why don't you make a dex save?
Sure. 26.
Yeah. You're bludgeoned by the tail of the thing, but you're able to hold on. And Devlin, that takes us to your turn. It's not moving, which is interesting. You were expecting, Devlin, for it to perhaps take flight, but it is not doing so.
Okay. And so is Dulcie still clinging on to the device around its neck?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Trying to decide which stupid idea to do at this point. As there are so many possibilities. I think. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to help at all. This thing that I want to do, but I think it's interesting story-wise, so we're going to try it, and hopefully this does not cause us to be eaten by a dragon. But I think I'm going to, if I can find some position of relative cover, I'll try to do that. But I think I'm actually going to try to cast message at the dragon and encourage it to fight the the control. So basically, so what I'm gonna do. We give this a try. If it doesn't work, then we'll go to Plan B, which is fire. Plan B is always fire. So I'd like dive behind a rock or something, but at the same time, I'm just going to I point up at the dragon at Minzish, and I and it's basically the dragon, and only the dragon. Minzish will hear me sort of saying to it, Minzish, the mightiest of the high defenders. This cannot be your end. You will not bow to these vile mechanicals. Your will is stronger than theirs. Break it. And I'm going to try to convince them to fight the control.
Echoing in your mind, you hear the strained response of the great Minzish. I am fighting it with all of my will, Master of the Forge. But if you must fight me, then so be it. And you're able to get, you can get half cover or full cover if you want, with different boulders and so forth here. Okay, yeah. I think I'm on. I think I'm gonna go on. Yeah, since it's coming to the end, since that's my action, I'm going to go ahead and do full cover. But I'm also going to just sort of shake my head, and because I remember I can do this at will. I raise this gauntlet up, and I look at it, and I just shake my head, and I burst into flames. As once again, the fire will come up in my eyes, and I'll feel that so terribly tempting power. And as the snow and ice moves out from the flaming Forge Master, Dulcie, it's your turn.
So I'm going to try to get into the box.
Okay. Are you making is your attempt to open it, to destroy it, to remove it? What are you trying to do?
Well, first trying to see inside it.
Okay. From where you are, your ears still ringing from the blow of the creature. You can see it. It's just a couple of feet off to your left. It is it's metallic, looks like some like steel or some other kind of metal. It is smooth and rounded at the corners. It's only about this thick, but it's like a foot square or so, about 2 inches thick. There is a red light set into one corner. You don't immediately see any openings or cracks or seams on it. In fact, it seems like it's with one piece with the band itself. There's no buckle on the band of any kind. It seems like it's all made of the same metallic material.
Okay, then we will just try to get it off. I'll just pull out the dagger. Is probably easier to use.
Okay.
And try to wedge it under there.
So you're easily able to wedge your dagger underneath it. The way that we're going to do this, and anyone anyone who would like to can attack, can use your one of your attacks to target this mind control collar. It has an AC of 12, and it has 35 hit points that need to be taken away from it in order for it to cease functioning.
Okay. Do, do, do. So I don't know if I get sneak attack on it, because I mean, it's not a creature, so up to you. So either 6 or whatever the other math is. 22. Is that right?
No, yes. No sneak attack, though. You put your dagger up in between its cold, sort of stony skin and this band, and begin to pull at it, trying to pull up through it to cut it. You can see that the dagger is beginning to cut through the edge of of that band material, but going at it this way, it's going to take some time.
Okay, well, then I'll use my bonus action to do it again. Well, no, I probably wouldn't have my dagger in my other hand since I'm hanging on, so never mind. I'll just yell off, shoot the band! That's it. Because I suppose I cannot hide, so... yeah.
Ardent.
Well, I'm gonna hear that, and I'm kind of right there, so I'm going to attack that band then.
All right. Yep. It's easily within your range. How are you going to attack it?
Sword, hey, right here. Just gonna hit what I can hit, while still being in its periphery and not moving to the side or anything. Don't want to, again, keeping its eyes on me. I don't want it to go anywhere.
Yay.
And that's better.
Yeah, that's great. You slash at it, and as your blade sinks into it, it looks like steel, but it feels more like leather to your blade and to your arms as it slices down through it. It takes 6 points of damage.
Cool. I'm gonna divine smite this because I'm a paladin and I can do that, and I always forget I can do that.
Please smite.
I smite. So that's 2d8, and I'm going to expend another spell slot, bring that to 3d8. 3d8. Nice. 11.
All right. And with the power of that divine smite, your blade cuts more deeply into the thing. You can see your way to cutting it off, just not in this round.
Well, I
have another attack.
I have another attack. So,
Well, maybe it will be in this round then.
Let's try that. Nope, that's a 7.
Right.
You would have got it too. You would have got it.
I would have gotten it too, but it's fine.
Would have.
Woulda, coulda,
Definitely would have. Yeah,
There's
indeed.
probably like, I think maybe it's just I don't want to hit Dulcie, and so I probably hesitate or veer off my attack a little bit, for the second swing.
like you could hit me.
I think Ardent just does like the look of like.
I'm just on there like a spider monkey.
Yeah, I think this is a silent exchange of like, I was just like, but I don't want to hit you.
Do better.
As you, as this exchange happens, it is, it now, it's looking down at you still, Ardent, and it, again with that mechanical, far faster, fast like a snake. Its head flies in with a bite attack to you.
No, don't hit. Don't do it. But what if not, though? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Its teeth sink into you, and you can feel this icy cold, the same cold of its breath now, sinking into your skin. That's 18 damage. Ardent, how are we doing?
I can still cut off that cold, correct?
So
Yes.
So
Yep, that's right. So
16.
16?
So 16.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm still fine.
All right. Then it is you now, all of you, from your various points of view, you feel it. Dulcie more than see it, but the others of you, you see its great wings now spread out to the full, to their full spread.
Good.
And with a flap of its wings, it is up into the air. This is both its movement, which takes it 80 feet
Great.
Straight into the air, and it is its wing attack.
Oh,
this
good.
is a legendary action.
Yes.
Creatures within 10 feet of the dragon must succeed on a DC 9 dexterity saving throw or take
9 or 19?
or take the damage. 19, sorry,
Yeah.
DC
I was
19.
gonna say, like, that's very
Okay.
low. I don't remember if I
take
have
it.
any advantages. Let me fucking check.
I
my
assume
shit.
I have to make this.
Yes, I still do. Haha. I'm gonna use one here.
No. Dulcie, you're not. You don't have to make this
Yeah.
because you're not in the down blast from its wings.
Good.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, I don't think you have advantages. You have an aura that gives you plus your charisma.
No, I also have advantages too.
You have advantages on saves?
No, I have
Advantages from
Nice.
our generous viewer.
Oh, but then, did you add
Donated.
your aura?
Oh,
yeah.
no, I did not. So that's a 20.
Yes.
30-20.
There you go.
That does save.
That's what.
God.
Aha!
Fuck.
Aha!
As you see its wings spread, you get a sense for what's coming and are able to shield yourself from the blast of air as it takes to the sky. It hasn't really moved in space other than vertically. It's 80 feet in the air now, and Dulcie, the view is makes your stomach churn a bit. And Devlin, it's Ardent. No, Devlin, it's your turn.
Okay. So basically, I'm going to rise up from the rock because I think I probably have to be at least semi-exposed to do this, and I'm going to be sort of moving my I'm actually moving my right hand a little more, making my right hand do more of the work because my left hand is currently shaped like this, as sort of moving back and forth, and as I'm sort of doing this, sort of as saying, and you see this green glob appear in the as the chromatic orb opens up, and luckily its range is 90 feet, so I will haul back this glowing, sparkling orb and hurl it trying to hit the collar, and I am casting it at 2nd level. I'm going to press this button that says cast and choose damage type is acid. There we go.
Brilliant.
Nice.
What does it look like as it
So
arcs up?
yes, this sort of green sphere that still looks like it's crackling with energy. This energy going through it that just sort of rolls up and splashes against the collar, eating through it. As the sort of energies sink in as the acid goes to work. And hopefully, if I've done enough damage, which it looks like perhaps I have, it will fall off.
Dulcie, you're able to, you see this coming, and I kind of have this image of Dulcie's eyes getting big and ducking back behind the neck of this dragon as the ball of acid impacts, and it lands squarely where the cuts had been made previously, and in moments it melts through, and Dulcie, you're holding on to it as it slides off of the neck of this dragon and begins to fall. How about another dex save for me?
Sure. 18.
You can feel it. It's much heavier than you expected it to be now that it's not attached to the dragon, and it almost pulls you off. You're just able to sort of wrap your arms and legs around it. You are now spider monkeyed on it as it hovers there, its great wings slowly flapping in the air. And it's your turn. Unless there's Devlin, is there any movement, I'm sorry, that you want to take before you? Anything else?
I think all I'm really going to do is I'm just going to I think we know what's going on here. So yeah, no, I think I kind of already had to move a bit to see it. So I'm gonna try to do a little bit of cover, but at this point I'm not as worried, which perhaps I should be, but we'll see. So no, I'm good, but I'm just sort of generally gesticulating and sort of indicating that that's the control that he's free of control. I will say just basically as it falls out, just in case there was any question as to what might actually be going on here, which I don't think there is, but clarity. Because I remember all of my conversation was in Draconic, so it's like might need to say something in common.
Good. And Dulcie, you're hanging on to this thing in midair now.
Excuse me, Your Majesty? If you can understand me now, would you mind landing?
Its head, it's almost comical on the way that its head swings to the right and you're barely able to hold on, and as if it's looking for you, it swings back to the left and you're still able to hold on. And then you feel its voice more than you hear it, where you're sitting up against its throat here. But it grumbles something in that language that it was speaking with Devlin earlier, and you can see the ground now rushing up as it settles down toward the ground. And its feet land with a crash on the rocks and snow. And you're now within easy dropping distance of the ground if you'd like to drop off.
I mean, only if it wants me to. I feel pretty cool. I lean and look up at Ardent
Ardent would shake her head a little bit.
It's up now. Its kind of haunches are down on the snow, and its front legs are extended. It swivels its head, and just the power of it as it turns is massive. This thing that was your enemy just moments ago now apparently not. And Devlin, it eyes you near the boulder that you've been hiding behind, or that you were hiding behind a moment ago. And it says, in Draconic, it says to you, "I owe you a debt, Master of the Forge, you and your friends."
I sort of bow and just sort of looking at the tower, and I say, and I just sort of I look back up at I look at this sealed tower. I kind of have a half smile. Devlin has a half smirk on his face when he turns back. He says, "Lord Minzish, perhaps you could open this up for us. I dare say we would consider it even."
What are you saying? What are you growling about? Share with the class, Devlin.
I think perhaps he's going to let us in.
He looks up toward the door that he was unceremoniously dropped from earlier, and then back down at you. "I would see it done, Forge Master, but I know not how I got in there in the first place."
Is he still talking in Draconic?
Yes.
Tell him to fuck
Right.
it up! Tell him to just fuck the thing up!
And so I'll just sort of...
I know they can
say-
understand common. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. I will, I will say, it's just sort of looking at I'll just sort of take a second to look at to look at the door, because I presume that's like the thing, and I'm just like, I'll just kind of say, perhaps could be Pride open.
He grumbles, but it like the dragon that he is, his attention is quickly elsewhere. His head swivels, Dulcie, toward you, where you're standing next to it, and calling out. And in a rough common, very close to you, the icy cold of its breath is bracing even in this mountain weather. It says, "You're a hot little firecracker, aren't you?"
I'm done. I'm out. I'm not engaging. Nope. Okay, I'm off. I'm repositioning myself by Ardent now. No, thank you.
And then it swivels Ardent toward you, and it says, "I've known many knights and warriors in my time, but I've never known one so brave as to remain immovable in the face of my icy breath. You are a credit to your order."
I think Arden kind of just like politely inclines her head. Not really saying much else. I think Dulcie kind of like notes that Arden doesn't really know what to do with this compliment, other than acknowledge it.
All right. Well, Devlin, if it's not gonna help us fuck the shit up, then you're welcome and goodbye.
Does it look like look like he's going to give it a try, or does it look like he's sort of befuddled by the thing and doesn't want to deal with it? I think that's really just more the question. Because if it's the other, he can just sort of owe us.
Yeah, more the latter. I think it seems even in your limited dealings with dragons, it seems as though it's lost some interest.
Okay.
It turns its head back to you, Devlin, and it says, "I have only recently returned to this world. Your friends have sent me. They are trying to return as well. I must assist them."
I would be most grateful.
"Perhaps you will be alone no more. Farewell," and its wings extend and flap, and it is in the air. And it is flying north into the icy peaks. And that is where we will end our episode for tonight.
Casually dealt with the adult dragon. That's what we do here, apparently.
You never know what you're going to bump into in the
Apparently not.
barrier peaks.
Yep, dragons. Cool.
What a loved seeing you all take that on and prevail. So much fun. Let's Jim, just you and I tonight. So I'll say my farewells. I'll pass it to you, and we'll pass it back from there to Lauren and Kienna. Thanks so much, everyone. So exciting to be back and so much fun to get to play with all of you. Thanks for those of you who joined us in chat tonight. Everyone who's watching on YouTube, so grateful for you all. I am Allie. You can find me on Twitter at Allyson Robinson with 2 L's and a Y. You can catch me here on the channel on Saturday mornings for Mask of Nyarlathotep, our Call of Cthulhu 7th edition Pulp Cthulhu game, where we are trying to save the world in the 1920s from elder demons and ghouls and fun stuff like that. So join us here for that. And that's it for me. I think, Jim, pass it off to you.
Thank you. This was awesome. And I was not expecting a dragon, and not the least of which a dragon that I was actually at least passingly familiar with. So that was incredibly cool. So it's very neat. I cannot wait to do more of this. Hopefully with Gnome back, and we can get on in there. So I'm Jim Ryan. You can find my stuff at Otherdoc, OTHERDOC, on Twitch. I'm also Otherdoc on Twitter, where you can check out my various things. The one project I'll call out is this week, providing all is well, that we've got actually back on my channel. We are premiering a show Thursday night. That is, it's called Witch Hunt. It is a setting for Spell, the RPG. It will be run by the creator of that RPG, Taylor, our Whimsy Machine. And we're going to be doing a little mini campaign as we're all going to be playing young folks defend being given magical abilities by the forces of nature in the era of colonial Massachusetts, when folks weren't quite that understanding about such things. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing how that goes. But otherwise, I've got stuff I'm doing on my channel on Sunday nights, Dark Matter, but then I'm back here on Monday nights. And I cannot wait to see what happens next. Thank you all so much. It's awesome to be back.
Yay. All right, let's do personal stuff real quick. Lauren, what's up with you? What's going on in your corner?
Twitter, that's Salty Ginger. Otherwise, I'm here. The end.
Yeah. And I'm Kienna. Find me over on Twitter at Kienna S. Otherwise, find me here as well. When I'm here with my best friend Lauren, doing a bunch of stuff. Before we close out, we're going to do channel stuff real quick. First off, want to give a shout out to all of our sponsors. That includes Roll20, our virtual tabletop of choice. Please go check them out. Please go check out the other Spotlight creators because they're really awesome. As well, Dice Envy for your good click clacks and physical dice in plastic, metal, wood, or gemstone. They're all really great. And they're releasing new stuff basically every 2 weeks. So go check them out. And of course, Grinding Coffee Co., which is that Black and LGBTQ owned company that does coffee and also helps fuel this channel. Thank you to everyone who subbed today. Again, all of the money goes into keeping the lights on over here and going to cast comp because we value our cast and the time and energy they spend with us with every episode. If you haven't missed this episode, please go check out our YouTube channel, subscribe over there. I upload the VODs during the week, usually Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays, so you can keep up with stuff over there. And of course, follow us on Twitter to keep track of when we go live, as we tweet out when we go live for regular TTRPG stuff, for impromptu video game streams, and news for whatever else. I think there's still like an hour left to apply to a podcast.
30 minutes.
Which 30 whole minutes. Missing Annie Lee, please go check that out if you're interested in being part of a wonderful horror podcast run by Lauren and concurrently with Summer from Off the Table. Will be playing in it and also co-producing it, so go do that last minute right now if you're watching this live. We will be back tomorrow with a next installment of Burn Bright, which is going to be super awesome. They're just getting to the thick of things and intrigue and weird shit happening in space, and I GM that, so very excited for that. And of course, we'll be back on Sunday for Max and I Last Step, and Saturday for Max and I Last Step, Sunday for The Witcher, and then back here for another episode of this. That's it for us. We'll go sign off. Have a good rest of your night, everybody, and we'll see y'all around.
Goodbye, everybody.